everyone and welcome to a new video, and today our chapter is Polymers. We're going to about lesson Polymer. This video is designed especially for the students of class 12 who have taken science stream and who are under the CBSE curriculum. Polymer is organic chemistry chapter if you don't know it already. It has about 3 marks weightage. Yes, every chapter has a weightage. You can see it in the syllabus itself. In the website. Now my main reason to write down here academic year 2020-2021 is because I made this video during that year, but this video can be watched by anybody who have taken science stream and till the time CBSE put this chapter in their textbook. Okay, now I want to talk about syllabus, especially about how do you review a syllabus for CBSE students. What I have found out is that the students, they ignore the syllabus as just a piece of document from the board and just check it out as a reviewing part around the month of the month of Jan or February before the board exam, and that is incorrect. Syllabus are like a blueprint of your board papers. They are given to you at the beginning of the academic year so that you check it out at the beginning of the academic year itself. Okay? To tell you in simple word, let's say this is your 2 volumes of chemistry textbook in front of you, volume 1 and volume 2. It's a good idea to read the whole 2 textbook to understand the concept and to understand the chemistry what's given to you as overall Ncert textbook. But when it comes down to learning for board examination, solving problems, numericals, board papers, or even trying to learn important terms and topics, it comes down to syllabus provided by them. And in this syllabus, from this syllabus only, the board is going to ask you questions like this. So meaning, it's from the syllabus you can extract and ask the question in the board exam. Of course, it's possible once in a blue moon to ask some extra question outside syllabus, but you will be given marks for it. Don't you worry. Okay, so understand that syllabus is like your blueprint of your board paper, so keep beside you, and as you learn the chapter, put a tick mark. Have I covered this topic? Have I covered this topic? And so on. And if you are a teacher teaching you in the school, make sure that you're having the syllabus with you and see if your teacher minimally have taught all the topic from this given topics in syllabus. Might be there are more topics in a textbook. It's good if teacher teach everything from the book, but even minimally they have to teach all the topics given in this syllabus. Okay, now with this, let's get started. If you want the link is given here. You always can get it from here as well. Next we have is called the chapter itself. Now the chapter, if you have opened by now, you're gonna see a heading here and objective. Objective talks about the different things you can learn about in this chapter, things like monomers, things like polymers, and goes on. If you haven't bought the book yet at the beginning of the year, you can always get the book from the ncert.nsc.in, where you can get the PDF or the ebook of the chapter. And what I found is that you don't know exactly how to use the CBSE website. CBSE.nic.in will give you all the syllabus, all the curriculum, all the board papers of the past, including the sample paper, and this website will give you all the ebooks or the chapter wise as a PDF for your textbook. Okay, if you go to the link, you're gonna get the book like this, as you can see in front of me. All the chapter provided as for hard copy as well. So keep these 2 things within your site as soft copy or hard copy, and let's get to learning. Before I talk about learning, it's important to talk about why you should watch this video. Of course, as I was learning myself, when I go to YouTube and type about any topic for chemistry, I found a lot of videos talking about the same thing, and I just used to go to any random video for a while and then learn about it, okay, for the next half an hour. And at the end I find out that only 10% I have learned something new. Remaining 90% I already knew the same thing, and it wasn't that effective of my time or even my energy and even my overall my productivity. But before you begin, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to teach you in this video exactly and how this might help you if you are willing to take my help. Okay, I have worked really hard to make this content this time, and I'm sure you can love it a lot. Number 1 being, I'm teaching you my favorite chapter. Yes, but the problem is not about memorizing. Okay, so the problem is about not knowing what to memorize and how to do it. because I knew about the method and it became my favorite chapter. Thanks to my mom, Monica mom. She taught me this chapter like in our school. It was the first chapter she taught us and it was wonderful. We all loved it because it was so wonderful. We all got full marks in this chapter. So I'm going to teach you the same thing, how it has been done. And when I say my favorite chapter, it means I have done the revision of this chapter more than 5-6 times. I'm well thorough with the lesson. And number 2 being, I'm going to give you all my notes and tips for this chapter in order to score full marks, okay? And it's the first time teaching you all, so it might be kind of difficult for catch up, but understand, I'm going to give you all that I have. So be happy and be confident about it, fine? So I won't be like, do this to the else. I'm going to give you all that I have. So as you stick with me, get a pen, get a paper, and get writing along with me, okay? Next comes, this video is full in English. Now why do I focus about English? Because like whenever I search any CBSE videos for high school, like from 10th and 12th board especially, many videos, majority of them will be in Hindi plus English mixed or majority Hindi as such. Now I understand Hindi pretty well. Even my friends who have Hindi as a mother tongue, is good for them and good for me as well. But of other learners for whom the Hindi won't be their first choice of language for learning, it might be hard for them because they're missing out the best teachers. So I thought I'm going to teach this lesson for all of you in English, teaching you my favorite chapter, giving all my notes. So it is for you for sure. And not only that, I'm going to solve all the majority of the index question and example solutions, okay? Solutions meaning by that word, I'm talking about you're going to solve together as a team. You're going to solve, so you're going to learn at the moment and solve immediately after that to see how much you have covered and how much you understood. And next comes about exercise answer, because I believe that if you don't solve the questions, you will know exactly if you have learned it or not. And that's the main reason why you have exams in school, even though you might find it very boring and difficult. Okay. And one more thing to tell you, one more tip from here itself. I'm giving a very secret tip if you have not known yet. To be able to score really good marks in chemistry, unlike math and physics, especially like unlike math where you have to do RHM and so on, for chemistry, if you are thorough, with your NCERT, then you are well ahead to be able to get above 95% in your board examination, because everything is from the book itself. And when you solve like other things like sample paper or a board paper, then you just get a practice of solving in time and time management, as well as about doing application based, helping you to get 100 out of 100, okay? So if you want to be able to do really well, all you need is NCERT. That's the first thing for me, is first do your content properly and then solve all the NCERT questions beforehand on time, okay? And I believe in something called student-to-student connection. It is a good idea, amazing idea to have a wonderful teacher teaching you the lesson with a lot of experience of many years and who knows exactly how it works. But a student-to-student connection is much more deeper. Now, if you don't know, I am the student of academic year 2019-2020, okay, this year. So I have recently just now passed out from high school, you can say, kind of, even though now we have all this COVID-19 happening around the world. But I should say officially in the month of August I'll be passed out from grade 12, and then so I'm like very fresh with the knowledge. I thought before I forget what I have learned and before I move on to my different phase of life, I thought I'd teach you my favorite chapter so you can take the advantage of what I wish I could have taken beforehand itself. So I'm going to teach you the way I would love to learn the lesson again if I had to. Okay, so keep in mind that part. So let's get started. And I'm serious, my friend. I have worked really hard to make this presentation. It is quite long. Its PPT is up to, I suppose, 50-60 slides. I have divided into 5 different sections, like 10 slides each. So this is my part 1. I have my part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5 also as well. So it's being a part 1. I'm giving an intro before I start, So you get that, should I say emotion? Because we learn really well when you're emotionally connected to our chapter or whatever it might be. So, you listen to my, what should I say, Mahabharat. Let's grab a pen, get a notebook, and let's get real work done, okay? Let's start now. So, when you open your book, you're gonna see this huge introduction paragraph, the first big paragraph. I have the same question. What is this? Is this about why you have given this? See, in Ncert book, before they start lesson, they give us more introduction to help you know what application of this chapter is, how it is used, and why we're learning it. but none of this they're going to ask in exam. To summarize this whole para, it just means one line, that polymers forms the backbone of so much industries, that is plastic, elastomers, fiber, paint and varnishes. Wonderful, that's it. And this thing is not for learning, it's understanding purpose, okay? So not for exam at all. Now comes for exam. First important question from indexes, what are polymers? So I'm teaching you, along with I'm giving you the question for that. It says, polymers defined as a very large molecules having molecular mass which are formed by joining of repeating structure on a large scale. Simple. Now what this means, let's say I have a small structure in front of me like this way. When this goes on connecting like this way and forming a long chain, this is my polymer. This is my polymer, okay? Now I shall be using a rectangular box or a square box with a red box to highlight the important for exam point of view. So meaning this important is a very commonly asked one mark question we can say. So next we have is monomer. The structure unit which repeat again and again is called the monomer. In simple terms, this spherical thing, this is my monomer, and when I have a lot of monomer combined together to form a long chain, that gives me polymer. If you don't know by now, let me tell you, the word poly means many and the word mer means unit, okay? Similarly, the word mono means one, and again the word mer means unit. So this means one unit, this means one unit, and this means many units, okay? You've understood what this two means. Let's see what is polymerization. The process of formation of polymers from monomers. This picture defines it all. So I want to get this polymers from this singular, or should I say this from the structure unit of monomer. The process from which I get polymer from the monomer, the process is called polymerization, okay? Wonderful, wonderful. Another big question. Is the spelling has Z or S? It may seem very minute, but let me tell you, there are students who are going to confuse a lot in this. Should I have Z or S? Either of them is correct, okay? But if they have given you S in a book, follow the S. If they are given Z, follow the Z. Anything is correct, okay? Moving on now, let's see. Yeah. So they may ask this question by saying define, and you can always write down definition of one line. And you can also draw this with your own hand like this. You can draw some simple like this thing, write the monomer and I put an arrow and then put a chain, okay? So when you write the diagram as well with the pencil exam, the exam will think, okay, this child knows it all. Let's give her a full mark. So let's give him a full marks, okay? Let's move on next. So again, this question could be asked by saying define the term polymer and monomer. The answer is the same as you can see here. So by now we have solved 3 questions of a textbook. You can see how far we have reached. Moving on, examples. There could be many examples about polymer use in real world, but we are focusing about board exams. Let's confine our focus to only board exam and NCERT. In our textbook they have given us 3 prime examples. These are polythene, Polyvinyl-chloride and Nylon-6. Let's see their structure. Very important. All of these are important, but most important is this one. So let's see one by one. First we have is polythene. It is monomerized ethene, okay? So let's have a look at it. Let's see for polythene, how do we getting it? So we have the monomer here to be as ethene, that is CH2 double bond CH2 n times. That's ethane, okay? So ethane is our monomer. So this one, after polymerization, the process from which we get polymers from monomers, we shall be getting something like CH2 single bond CH2 continuous whole N, and this is polythene. Okay, it looks quite interesting and simple, but now the question is, how did we get this? Let's have a look at that. So let's imagine that we have 3 different ethene, that is our 3 different monomers combined together, joined together to form a polymer. So this can be represented as, let's see here, CH2 double bond CH2, CH2 double bond CH2, and one more you're going to have here called CH2 double bond CH2. Interesting. So what basically happens is the bond which is over here, this one bond will come this side, this one bond will come this side. Similarly from double bond, one of the bond will be carried to another monomer to join them together. This shall give us CH2 single bond CH2, single bond CH2, single bond CH2, single bond CH2, single bond CH2. Wonderful. And as you can see clearly here, our repeating unit is this spot, and that has been mentioned over here. So in our simple logic, that's how do we get it. So for exam point of view, you just need to know this section for exam point of view, and that's it. So write the heading as polythene, monomer as ethene, mention it out, write down the ethene basic monomer formula, and then show the arrow, write down the process name here clearly and nicely. Then you have written the product of the site. Now, important to note down is the N. N is so important because N indicates the number of monomers being used, so representing our repeating unit. So hope that is clear for you. So let's move on now to polyvinyl-chloride. So what we have now seen is polythene having the monomer ethene. So exam, write down the heading, that is polythene, write down the monomer ethene, and just write this much part of it, this much part only. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We have is called polyvinyl-chloride, and as the name suggests, our monomer is vinyl chloride. So let's see how is this been done. Let's talk about how do we get polyvinyl-chloride from vinyl chloride. Before then that, let's see organic chemistry structure. Let's say we have CH2, CH2, double bond CH and X. Now clearly this part in organic chemistry is called vinyl, if you don't know it by now, but now you know it. And X is called, X could be any halogen, okay, or it could be any other functional group. Halogens are compounds, or should I say elements, like Cl, or let's say Br, or let's say fluorine, and goes on. It could be more, okay, fine. And functional group are like alcohol, OH, or carboxylic acid like COH, and so on. And vinyl, so this structure, when you have a double bond and you have two carbons on either side and something attached to it, this part of it is called vinyl. So using this information, let's talk about how can you get vinyl chloride and how we can get from there polyvinyl chloride. Fine, let's see. Erase this up. Fine. So from this, you can easily tell me that our structure for vinyl chloride is going to be CH2 double bond CH and Cl, where this part is called vinyl. So now we have seen it, and this Cl will be called as chloride. Wonderful. Fine then. So, but as a forming the polymer from this given one monomer, we shall be writing this as CH2 double bond CH and down Cl, and not as a linear form here. Now why is this so? Let's say I have two vinyl chloride monomers trying to form a polymer. Then what is happening here is that the two different monomers are forming a bond between themselves and not within a monomer, okay? Because you have now learned as in polythene, when they're forming a bond, then the ethene is giving its double bond one branch to help us connect. So in this case, similarly, this is going to give a bond to this side on its right side to help us form a bond. But here, when you do that, it is giving its bond length within its own monomer, and which is not correct, it's incorrect. And that's why we have to keep this joint thing like X down to help us out. Similarly, you're going to see example of styrene in the further future. We're going to talk about how styrene is going to have structure CH double bond CH and a benzene ring. But because we want to form a nice polymer bond, we write down this benzene down and not at the top, okay? With this information, let's see how it's been done. So we can have our here now CH2 double bond CH down Cl to be as our N times. This is our vinyl chloride. After polymerization, the name of the process, how is informed, we're going to be getting, you know it, we're going to be getting CH2 single bond CH down Cl branched and whole N, and this is our polyvinyl chloride, and that's how do we get the answer. Okay, look at this. Exam point of view, this is only what I remember, this much only, okay, nothing more and certain nothing less. This is what I remember, and that's it. Now let's see Nylon-6, so very important for exam point of view. Now unlike the first example, for this we have two monomers, number one being adipic acid and number two being hexamethylene diamine. It's pronounced as hexamethylene diamine. So let's see how do we get this one. Let's see for nylon 6,6. As per you know, for nylon 6,6 we have two monomers, adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine. Before we talk about how it's been done, let's talk about what happens when I have a carboxylic acid with me and when I add an amine to it, what I'm gonna get. Let's see for that. Carboxylic acid would be carbo double bond O, OH, and amine is NH2. You can write down this as H2N in the reverse fifth manner, so I can easily, from this part I can easily take out H and OH to give me what? Water. Yes, this shall give me now carbon double bond O and NH. Okay, this structure looks familiar, doesn't it? If you don't know, we have something called amide. Amide has a structure like R double bond O and NH2. Okay, so this bond could be any R, any alkyl group. Okay, so as you can see, RR check, CC checked, double bond O check, N check, H checked, but one more H is there. So can I call this amide? Not exactly, because one H is missing, so I'll call this as substitute amide. The word substituted basically means in chemistry modified. Okay, the modified amide, substitute amide. Okay, that's how we are getting it. So you can use this information to get our nylon 6,6. Now how I can confidently say that is because in nylon 6,6 we have two things, isn't it? First we have is adipic acid. An adipic acid is our carboxylic acid, and then we have over here something called hexamethylene diamine. And hexamethylene diamine is our, you know it is our amine. So let's see how it's been done. Okay, the structure for adipic acid is gonna be CH2 whole 4 COOH and COOH. I'm writing it this way because the bond is being formed between the carbon and this carbon, not between the OH and the carbon or H and the carbon. Okay, similarly same thing for here. So when I'm drawing and showing you, it's easy for you to understand how it's been done, so you can learn yourself how it has been done and how it's going on. This is going to be n times n number of adipic acid is being used, and plus, let's put plus here, n numbers of hexamethylene diamine, that's going to be CH2 whole 6 NH2 and H2N. Wonderful. Similarly here, nitrogen and carbon is forming the bond, not hydrogen and nitrogen we have used. So make sure to write down the bond properly. Okay, it's so important. Fine. Now let's see what happens after our polymerization process happening. You know it gives out water, so let's use a different color pen. And so from here one H comes out, from here OH comes out, combine it give us water. Again from here one OH goes out, which is combined with another H somewhere towards this side where there is available, and from here again H goes out. Fine, so far clear and neat. To give us what? Let's see. It's gonna give us carbon double bond O, CH2 whole 4, carbon double bond O, okay, NH, fine, CH2 whole 6, NH, and then whole N. Okay, nice, smooth and good. Wonderful. You may have a question here by saying, why are we having carbon double bond O and why not carbon single bond O? Because we're having carbon and here we're having NH single bond, then why double bond in this case? That question might seem dumb for someone, but it is a good question, you know. Keep in mind, every question is meaningful. Every question is having an answer to be solved. Okay, this because if you have seen the structure of our carboxylic acid, there's carbon double bond O and OH. So if you're giving out OH, then what is left is carbon double bond O, and that's how we're getting double bond for O in this case. It's important because when you're talking about memorizing this lesson, we forget that we must also know the logic behind it, how it's been done. Okay, so that's it. Anything else left? Yes, we have to also add here plus NH2O. Why? Because We're giving out water, as I mentioned in the product, we're getting water as well. But you may say, is it 2n or is it n square, or is it just n? It is just n because from our first portion, like this portion, we are getting n number of adipic acid, that is n number of OH, and from here I get n number of H to give us NH2O, and this is correct answer. Okay, if you have carefully seen Nylon-6, 6, we have 6 mentioned here. Now what does signify? It signifies that it has 2 different monomers, and each of them they have 6 carbon atoms. As you can see, 6 here means 1, like 4, 5, 6 carbon for adipic acid. Wonderful. Therefore here we have 6 carbon for hexams and diamides. So you can see how it is being getting the name. Okay, so for exam point of view, what you must know, let's see one more time. For this is so important. I can't tell you how important is this question. It is so commonly asked for 1 marks to write down the whole thing. Let's do it one more time. So do with me and follow up. Okay, fine. Let's see. So for Nylon-6, 6, what do we have? We have adipic acid. Okay, adipic acid for us is gonna be HOOC. Then we're gonna have CH2 whole 4 and then COOH. Okay, wonderful. N times plus we also have something called hexamethylene diamine. That is the name of our second amide. Okay, and that is going to be CH2 whole 6 NH2 and then H2N. After the process polymerization, write down the full spelling of it. You're gonna get from here, let me use a different color pen. From here H and OH is taken out. From here OH goes, from here H goes, to give me now carbon double bond O, CH2 whole 4, C double bond O, N, H, CH2 whole 6, N, H whole N, and also plus NH2. Simple, and that's how to get the answer for Nylon-6, 6. This is our Nylon-6, 6. With this, we come to the end of our video, and I'm sure if you are watching a video till now, till now means till more than 25 minutes, means you have literally loved my video and you have learned a lot, I'm sure. So please do give a like to my video. Please do share my video to all of your friends. Subscribe to my channel if you want more such content in the future. And check out my part 2, part 3, part 4 and part 5 for sure. In part 2, you can learn a classification of polymers based on source, based on structure of polymers, based on the mode of polymerization and so on. In part 3, you can talk about addition and condensation in more detailed manner. Part 4 is for condensation, especially talking about important dacron thiolene. If you don't know, in the whole lesson, if I have to be very honest, dacron thiolene, one of the most important one, learning the structure. And then you can talk about in part 5 about natural rubber, artificial rubber, as well as about biodegradable polymer as well. So all this are there in the video. The whole lesson is there in all those 5 parts, including today's part as well. So please do subscribe to my channel, and please do watch all the playlists and share with your friends. Give me a lot of likes and comment if you have any doubts, any questions. And if you have liked the video, if you love what I'm teaching you, the content, do let me know. And till then, keep learning, and thank you so much for watching my video. See you next time.